Alright, looks like we're recording. What's going on? Jim Cook here with a little vlog. The reason I'm doing this is because I just bought a new camcorder today. I am a huge lover of camcorders. I'm a 90s, 2000s kid. When I was in high school, I had a camcorder. My cousin and I made movies on a camcorder. I made my first film on a camcorder when I was only 17 years old. So camcorders are very special to me. It's a lot easier, I think, just because of my history with them, to be able to speak to a camcorder than it is for me to speak to my cell phone or a DSLR or a mirrorless. It just feels like home. And I love the aesthetic of a camcorder. So I just bought a Sony HDR CX240. It's a lower entry level model. It's digital. Came out in about 2014. I am recording off of that right now, but I got some nice lighting. It helps if you have good lighting. This is not the best low light camera in the world, but it does the job. Here is a clip from this afternoon, the first clip that I shot with it. It was nice, the clouds, the colors came through, it was just really beautiful. And I'm starting to get used to working with this, so I've only had it for a couple hours, but it already feels really awesome. So here's a look at some of the other cameras that I use. Number one is the old trusty old iPhone. I use Filmic Pro, and sometimes I use the native app. Here is actually an image of the camcorder that I'm recording this on. Yeah. So it's just really lightweight, it's easy to operate, it's very simple. The great thing about camcorders is that they are built to record video, whereas your DSLR and your mirrorless are not necessarily made for that. They are photo cameras that shoot video, whereas a camcorder is a video camera that shoots photos. But here's a look at some of the gear that I've collected over the past year. I've been doing film and video for many years, since I was in high school, really. Made my first short film when I was in high school. It's not great, but it was filmed on this little guy here. This is a Sony Handycam DCR HC240. Bought it in 2005 for my dad as a gift for Father's Day. This is not the actual camera. We do have the actual camera at my parents' house. We still have it, but it has problems loading the tape deck, which is down here. That is challenging because the motor tends to slow down, because what happens is the tape deck slides out, whoop, and then it kind of takes some time to slide back in. It doesn't always want to do that on these older models. The other deficiency with this camera is that it is a touchscreen. Now, this one isn't turning on right now because the battery that I got is no good for it. So I just need to switch out the battery and get a new battery for this Handycam, but man, it is great. I love it. It works in all different light settings. It uses a MiniDV tape. It's a lot closer to the digital smart card, SD card aesthetic. One of the great things about the aesthetic of the HD cameras that are digital but don't use tape anymore, but are sort of entry level like this, is you still sort of get the tape aesthetic. When you're picking a camera, it's really just what you want, but I love the look of tape. You know, a VCR tape or a high 8 or 8mm tape. It looks so good. You know, why get rid of it? But I also have this DSLR. It's an EOS Rebel T5. My sister kind of, I guess, lent it to me or gave it to me. I'm not totally sure. I think she got it as a Christmas present a number of years ago, and I haven't really given it the love that it deserves. The next video camera, or really photography camera that I have, this is a relatively newer type of camera, the mirrorless. So if I was to take the lens off of this, there would be no mirror inside of it reflecting the image like in a DSLR. The factory lens is actually very good. It's a 15 to I think 45mm, but I use the 22 meter. See, there's no mirror in there. It doesn't zoom. It's a fixed state lens, but it's a great lens, and it's especially good for portraits, great autofocus. It doesn't have an image stabilization, but it's really worth if you get the Canon M50. That's what this is, you know, EOS. If you want a good add-on lens, get the 22mm. It's the pancake lens. I want to see. Yeah, see, if you look down there, you can see the mirror. All right, so we looked at the DSLR, we saw the Rebel, the M50, HC42. We're gonna kick it back. Years ago, my cousin and I used to make little science fiction films, and we recorded them on, I think it was this. I just got this off of eBay not long ago. It's a Digital 8 Handycam, again, another Sony Handycam, DCR TRV 140. It records high 8 video 8, but it's made for digital 8 video. So they're all this size, those three. This still turns on. It's in great condition. It feeds the tape well. It's probably my best camcorder so far. As you can see, I can record myself. It's a great camera. I love it. Even after all these years, it's got a decent battery. And yeah, we used to film on either this camera, this model, or one very, very similar to it. And it has night shot. You know, camcorders are just awesome. They're made for people who aren't great filmmakers. But if you are a filmmaker, don't give up on the camcorder. Another camera I have is my Polaroid Go. This has been fun. But my favorite camera that I have, apart from my new baby, my new camcorder here, is my Bell & Howell Filmosonic XL 1235. This is a wonderful, wonderful Super 8 camera. It has a tape in it. I did record some tape on this when I was in a play. We did a play called War of the Worlds, and I was backstage and walking around the theater, and I just took some video. Or, sorry, some footage, some film footage. But this is not tape, this is celluloid. This is a really cool, you know, you can really play with this. It's a beautiful, beautiful camera. Found it online, I think for about 150 bucks. It was sitting in someone's closet. These were made in 1975, and it still had all of the pieces that go with it, to include a microphone and an earphone, but it is in perfect mint condition. This camera doesn't even have a fingerprint on it. It's perfect. It is as if it came right off the rack. Check out that focus. It's a really good focus on the Sony Handycam. Just a beautiful, beautiful camera. I did record one reel of Super 8 footage on this about a year ago. I walked around DC and just took video. It was right around the time of the election, shortly after the election. I had a little fun with it, recorded some film, and I've never watched it because I don't have any way of watching it. Or of digitizing it yet. There's a service called Legacy Box that I use. They're not a sponsor of this video by any means, but it's a service that I plan on using. They send you a box, and you can send 2 reels or spools of Super 8 tape. So I got this second tape in here. They were filmed a year apart, but once I finish that, I will send that off to get processed. Once that's developed and sent back to me, then I'll get those both digitized. And I think that's all my equipment. This is all fun stuff, but I think I foresee myself using what I'm recording on the most. It is just a beautiful camera. I'm kind of gazing off at the screen right now. I heard the battery is a lot better than what I'm getting out of it, but again, I just opened this up from the box. Don't think I charged it all the way. So yeah, that's my gear. I definitely plan on using this camcorder that I just got from Walmart, no less. So, surprise little treasure here in Maryland.